Welcome to Probed.
Probed.
This time on Probed, I couldn't really get a good topic out that was Halloween-y right now because we're doing this prior to October.
That's true, we are.
This is sitting in the back of a probe. So, our topic today is video games. And in general, just, in a broad spectrum kind of view.
So we're looking at our top 3, right?
Yeah, I asked you to write down a list of just your top 3. If you could think of a top 3, and it doesn't have to be official, you don't have to put fucking stamp on it. But just think of your top 3 favorite video games.
Yeah.
And so on this episode of Probe, that's what we're going to talk about. And remember, if you're smoking with me, remember to smoke smart, smoke safe, smoke legal, all that jazz.
If you're not smoking with me, don't fucking smoke.
Yeah, go you. So yeah, what's your first video game for us?
My first video game is not one that I play all of the time now, but more for nostalgia reasons, Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
I love that game.
Yeah, you do play it a good amount.
Yeah, it's kind of unbelievable for most people.
It's funny because you set it down and then you come back to it after like a month and a half.
I do. And then I play it for a ton at once. Which I enjoy doing. It's my favorite part. Okay? I like doing the tasks. It's a good thing to focus on. If that makes sense. Alright, if you think mine's so funny, what's your first one?
I don't think yours is funny. I think yours is solid. It's never been my game. It's definitely never been my game. Did not grow up with Animal Crossing in my life. Was that on the Wii?
Yes, it was on the Wii. There's 3, 4 of them out, I think. I haven't played all of them. I've only played one other than this.
That definitely explains it.
But I have to say, as an adult, it doesn't have the same appeal. Like you saw, I would play it for a ton, I'll take a break, play it for a ton. Mm-hmm. As a kid, I could just play it for a ton all the time. Like every single holiday, I had to be down there to collect whatever they were giving out. I couldn't let roaches get in my house. It was just nice. I enjoyed it.
I understand that. No, I know.
I
get that.
I like doing real life tasks in video games. You watch me.
Yeah,
do that.
you do.
I'm one of those people.
I mean, the closest I get to that is cleaning things in Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
I love doing that, but you love that to such a farther extent.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my first game is Resident Evil 4 because I've played that
a bajillion times.
Yeah, about 1,000 times at least.
Yeah.
And I know that game like the back of my hand. I'm a fast thinker, so my repetition on figuring things out just gets better every time I play it. Even if I play it 1,000,000 times, by the end I know something else.
Yeah.
And so I know that fucking game like the back of my hand. And it's just I play again like you with Animal Crossing. I played that as a kid a lot. Yeah. So yeah, I get it.
It's the same way, all over the place. Yeah. So my next one is Breath of the Wild.
I assumed that would be in there for you.
Yeah, I can play that game for forever. If we were just sitting here and you said let's play Breath of the Wild, I'd be like, okay, and I'd just play. The reason I don't play it so much anymore is definitely because you have to sit there and watch me play it, and that's kind of boring. And it's a lot of traveling too, which I will say I do get bored of sometimes. But I like the collecting in it, and it's a lot of the times the style that gets me,
It really is a perfect game.
Yeah.
I can look at it now, and even, there might be a flaw here and there. Or even something small that I personally don't like about it is the inventory, because your weapons always disappear, but you're always after the next better weapon, so it's a good reason to keep collecting to a very small amount of things that you honestly really need.
I will say I do get frustrated having to switch out on stuff so much, but it is a big part of things, having to plan ahead. So it's difficult, if they changed it so you just had one weapon, it would remove a big part of the game, probably.
Yeah, you genuinely have to use strategy in Breath of the Wild, in a fucking video game. It's done so well, and it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh, it always has been, and it always will be to me.
No, and that's a good one to have on a top 3 list. I would say it's a solid one. It's not on my list, though.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
What's the next one in your list, then?
So my next one is 2 combined because I couldn't decide on a shooter.
Yeah.
I figured a shooter would have to be in there somewhere. And I came to Doom Eternal.
Oh.
And Modern Warfare 2.
Wow. Definitely wouldn't have been my picks. Tell me why.
Modern Warfare 2, when I first played that, I played that when it came out. And that was the moment I realized, like, even as, like, kind of a kid still, I realized, like, video games are changing. Like, they are getting bigger, and it was like playing a movie. It was like being there. I fucking love that game, and I still remember that feeling and that memory of being there going, holy shit, this is absolutely a new thing. Because that's when graphics became like, holy shit, like...
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah. They looked fucking realistic as shit.
I feel like everybody remembers that moment where it switched over,
Mm-hmm.
Where it suddenly became, okay, wow.
And mine was definitely Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
The whole fucking thing plays out like a movie.
That's very true. I think my next one is kind of like that. God of War.
Oh, yeah.
I think I like it so much because it plays out like a movie.
Oh, let's pray.
And it's not a ton... Like, it's fighting, but it's not like...
We should say that which God of War is this?
Yeah. What's it called? The newer one.
The remake?
Yeah.
The sequel remake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called?
I don't know what
it's just called God of War, right?
It is just called God of War, but I don't know
Norse one.
Yeah, I don't know what the subtext would be for it. It's like a series prequel, sequel. I don't know.
It's a sequel.
But it's fucking hell of a game, and everybody knows it. It's a hell of a game.
Yes, it is. I like how big it is too. Like by the time we got to the end, you were ready for it to end. I think I could have played it for a while longer before I felt that way completely.
Yeah, I by the end, it felt like I had been fighting the same enemies, but they just kept going up in a harder scale.
Yeah.
So by the end, it felt like I was fighting the same enemies in groups, just different colors, I guess.
Yeah, that's very true.
They looked different. So.
Yeah, I mean, I did have a problem with that, but since I didn't grow up playing, like, shooter games or something that requires so much precision, I played fucking Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
It's nice because it's the same thing over and over again, so I can practice it without having to do the same scene over and over again, which is just horrible to do, because then you have to watch it, you're fighting the same exact enemies, you get mad, you get to move on, have the same patterns to learn from, but you don't have to do the same exact fight.
No, I get it. And it looks gorgeous. Like, everything about that game looks perfect.
But if I played it like a bajillion times, I probably wouldn't feel that way anymore because then I'd have that skill. I think it appeals to me because I don't have that skill, and it's like a way to learn it.
Yeah. I think after... Because, again, my head just it has that repetitive thought of just trying to master something over and over. And at some point, I just kind of realized this game has become a little repetitive. But I still am with it because the story is amazing. And the fighting's fun because you feel like a badass.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good one for a list.
It is. And what's your last one here?
My last one is Mario Odyssey. I've grown the fuck up with Mario my entire life in one way or another. So,
you do know it front to back.
Mario Odyssey feels like the 3D Mario world, all those games and all of that.
Yeah.
But done better.
Better, okay.
Yeah, done like a step better. Like, somehow, the hat concept... Like, that mechanic throughout that game, it makes it somehow way more fun for me. I never thought, like, I never would have thought just making Mario's hat come to life and using it, that would solve, like,
all the problems of the world.
Turning Mario into something, giving Mario something new to do.
That's hard to do. Everyone kind of sees Mario a certain way.
And something as simple as his hat coming to life. It sounds so stupid, but somehow it fucking works.
It works out.
Yeah.
That's very true.
So Mario Odyssey is definitely up there for me.
All right. Well, which one would you rate as your top one? Did you rate them in order?
I would honestly say Resident Evil 4
so
is my favorite.
One. There you go. I'd probably have to say of mine, it's probably Breath of the Wild overall. Yeah. Even though if you just asked me that outright and you didn't ask me to consider it, I probably wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
But when I really think about it, it's the one I can always go back to.
So what are you excited for coming up?
I've purposely avoided seeing everything about that new Zelda game that's coming out.
Yeah.
But if it's the same thing, if it's just the old game with like a little extra, I don't think it's going to be my cup of tea, so I'm really hoping it's something different.
Okay.
I'd be happy with the same art style and same like game mechanics and having to do generally the same stuff, like get new weapons and stuff. But it'd have to really delve into the story this time. The last one didn't. Like it did, but it didn't.
Yeah.
They would have to do something different that kind of way if they're going to keep it all the same.
Okay. That's a solid point. Okay.
That's what I have to say.
All right. I am excited for Cyberpunk.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I have to say.
I can't wait for that customization nightmare.
Yeah, I know.
Are you going to be able to play it on PS4 or do you have to get the PS5 or the X?
I think you can play it on PS4. I think so. I could be wrong, though.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up.
Yeah. Well, this has been Probed.
This has been Probed.
If you have smoked with me, just remember smoke smart, safe, and legal.
And if you've not smoked with me, being sober is great, isn't it?
Probed is a concept where everyone smoking just kind of hangs out. Even people who aren't smoking, like my lovely, lovely Kara here. So yeah.
We're having a good time.
Toodles.
Tootlace.
Subscribe.
Subscribe.